Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you two things. First, we'll go through how to successfully and easily germinate a seed. And second, I'll go through what to do with the contents in your Blossom box. So if you are a Blossom box subscriber, stay tuned. This video is just for you. So we'll start with your seed pot. Inside of your biodegradable seed pot, you have a cocoa growing medium and also some seeds. The seeds are organic, non-GMO seeds. And I believe this is wild sunflower. So those are the sunflower organic non-GMO seeds, and this is the organic cocoa growth medium, and also the biodegradable seed pod. So basically you're going to put your growth medium inside of the pot, and then we're going to add some water to the growth medium and kind of just let it absorb. And as directed, you can kind of stir a little bit to get the growth medium to absorb the water. So we're just going to give that a couple minutes, and as you can see before your eyes, is starting to really rise up. I don't know if you can see that, but there's definite movement happening. Right? You see? So what started off as something that was basically this size, I wet it, and now I can crumble it apart, and it's just, my pot is full of this growth medium. I still have a good little chunk here, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more water to that. Really saturate it so it's nice and absorbed. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm going to go ahead and let that rise for you. And as directed, I kind of want you to stir it up a little bit and kind of chop it up. So now we've got our cocoa growth medium all hydrated, and we'll put our seed in. Okay, so when you plant your seed, you're just going to put the seed not too deep, kind of like at the very top layer. I'm just going to put it and just slightly cover. I'm going to slightly cover, and I'll just mist it. This is also a good watering spout for something like this, which is a tiny seedling, because obviously it's going to be too delicate to get beaten by the heavy water. So this too could work. So you might want to just wet it up a little bit, but not too wet. And again, this is a biodegradable, so it takes to the medium. You kind of see where I've like oversaturated this a bit, which is okay because I noticed that this medium tends to dry out rather quickly. So I'm gonna just go ahead and leave it this way. But in general, you don't want to make this too moist. And then the way I'm going to finish out is I'm going to put it in the bag. And this bag is because this soil tends to dry out on the quicker side. And so to really kind of, get the seed and the soil in the most viable way, I'm going to try to keep it moist, warm, and damp, warm, and not allowed to dry out. So I'm going to go ahead and put this inside of the bag. Okay, so now I'm going to put this into the plastic bag, just so it stays damp and moist and kind of warm, and it doesn't dry out too quickly. And we'll put this not in direct sunlight, but somewhere where it does get a lot of light, but not necessarily direct sunlight. Because again, I don't want it to dry out, so I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping this lit and at the same time checking to make sure that the moisture is retained. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you an easy way and a successful way to germinate a seed. Here we have our seeds. These are wild sunflowers. They're non-GMO and organic seeds. A paper towel, just fold it in half, and a Ziploc bag. So you're going to take your seed. Actually, you'll take your paper towel. And what you want to do is you just want to dampen it. You want it to be wet, but you don't want it to be wringing. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray the paper towel and make it nice and damp. But I don't want it to be wringing wet, I just want it to be wet all over. So now that my paper towel is nice and damp on both sides, I'm going to go ahead and stick it inside of this Ziploc bag. I'm taking my damp paper and I'm sticking it inside of this Ziploc bag. Okay. Now that I have my paper towel inside of my Ziploc bag, I'm going to take out my wild sunflower seeds, which are here. I've got 2 of them. I'm going to take these seeds out. I'm going to go ahead and put them on top of the paper towel. You can see the seeds plain and clear there. I'll just give it a little bit of a spray just to make sure it's nice and damp. Now that the water is beating up, I can tell that I have plenty of water. I'll zip lock this back up and keep the air inside locked in and keep it nice and moist. If it starts fogging, that's a good sign because you want everything to keep moist. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that while I'm storing this, and this doesn't necessarily, oh yeah, that's nice and wet. I'm going to store this upside down because what's going to happen is in storage in a few days, maybe 4 to 6, maybe up to 10 days, a taproot is going to come out of the seed. That taproot is going to be perfect because that's going to let me know that the seed is well germinated and it's ready to be planted. What I'm going to do is when I'm storing it, I'm going to make sure that I store it with the seed down, because when the taproot comes out, it's going to be ruled by the laws of gravity, which means that root is going to want to grow down. So I want the root of the taproot of the seed to grow away from the paper towel. So I want to put this down. I don't want to store this like this because what will happen is that taproot will grow right into the fiber of the paper towel. And when I go to take out the seed, which is going to have a very delicate taproot, it's going to be very delicate overall, I don't want it to grow within the fibers of the paper towel. So I know that if I store it this way, it'll grow down and the taproot is very likely not to stick inside of this paper towel. And so once I have my seed like this, it's been very successful for me to just put it in. I literally am recycling this bubble wrap envelope that I got from Amazon, and with the seeds facing down, I'm just going to put that inside. So that is inside, seed facing down. And I'll put this envelope in a dry and dark place, and I'm going to go ahead and store that for 5 to 10 days. But in the meantime, I'll check every day to see how my